Hello friends, it's Simone. I'm here today to swatch some inks. I'm gonna tell you what they are right up front, and then I'll start swatching and chatting about random stuff that comes to my mind. I have 3 samples from my friend Amy. One is Rohrer and Klingner Solferino. I think this is one of her favorite inks. Nagasawa Kobe number 23 Nagata Blue. And then Sailor Tea Time 2023 Moroccan Mint Tea. Then I have 3 samples from my friend Niki, Robert Oster, Clearwater Rain, Colorverse, Alpha Tauri. I don't know. I have no idea what all of the signs, zodiac signs are in Latin, so I'm always at a loss at what this is supposed to mean. And Wearingeul Brothers Karamazov. And lastly, an ink that I was able to snag from my friend Kristen, who did not want to keep using this. Ferris Wheel Press Grape Ice Pop. I think I said in one of my last videos that I have taken out all of the Ferris Wheel Press inks. I'm going to make an exception for this one because I think it is very similar to Sailor Shikiori Hara Hara. I am not sure. If this is not the case, I wanted to at least try this once in a pen. If I'm not happy with it, I will pass it along. So let me just put those into my... I should have done this while I was telling you what they are. Into my ink vial holder. This is from Fountain Pendulum. I think I got one of the first ones. And if I'm not mistaken, and what I see on their web page is they have, not that this is bad, but I think they have since developed much more, like a bigger variety of models of ink holders and pen rests that you can purchase from them. So they're definitely worth checking out. Let me start with Amy's favorite, Solferino. And this is not how I do this. I usually dip a cotton swab into my ink sample and make this mess on. I can see why she loves this. This is such a bright ink. I'm wondering, is Solferino an Irrigation ink or not? And what exactly do Irrigation inks do in comparison to regular inks? Do they harm your pens? And what specific pens do they harm? I have not done any research because I think I have not ever owned any Irrigation inks. So that would be definitely something to figure out before I'm putting this in a pen. It's super bright and super magenta-y, and it's definitely an ink that I like for sure. I'm always drawn to magenta inks. Do I have problems with this ink on a nib, or is this a dry ink or a wet ink? And I'm going to abbreviate Rohrer and Klingner and just write R&K, Solferino. And now I'm wondering, what does Solferino even stand for? Is this a word? Oh, is it maybe sulfur? Well, the way I would spell it, R&K. Did I just transfer an ink on here, or is this what this ink actually looks like? I think I need another paper down here, a clean one, so that doesn't happen. A, B, C. It's definitely not the wettest, or that's at least how it feels on this nib. So what it reminds me of, the word is sulfur, S-U-L-P-H-U-R. At least that's how I spell it in German. And I have never had the need to spell it in English. So I don't really know what the actual word in English is. Next one is Nagasawa Kobe number 23 Nagata blue. This looks very dark. I'm intrigued. So I'm on a swatching marathon right now. I want to swatch all the ink samples that I have in my stash currently to get them into my project ink down box and then use them. I'm not stressed. So I talked about being stressed by my hobbies, being stressed by the amount of ink samples that I own. That is not it. I just want to get on with my life. I feel like I'm stuck in this circle, and I'm starting to question why I do this and if it makes sense. If that makes sense to you. The reason why I started, so at first, when I started using ink samples or purchasing ink samples, I did that because maybe I was looking for the perfect olive green. And let me check, Kobe number 23. Oh my goodness. Nagata blue. This reminds me of Business in the Front, Party in the Back by Gourmet Pens. I think that's an exclusive with Ackerman, maybe, possibly. Yeah, so I started getting ink samples because I was looking for the perfect color with the goal or idea of then if I had found that one, then I would add the bottle to my ink stash. I don't really know why I would want to do that. And now, can you see what I just did? I drew the whatever branch the wrong way. Usually I swap them around. Oh my goodness, I have to start over and swatch all of the inks again because I need to remove the book. I know I keep saying this all the time and you all love it, and I don't do that. I don't keep saying it because you all love it, because this is my initial thought. The first thought that I have when I do things like that, it's like, okay, now I have to, what the heck? It's like a toddler temper tantrum that I want to fall on the floor and scream and stomp my feet because why? But then also, it's like, it's not a big deal. It really, it's like, what the heck? So let me check if I can find Business in the Front, Party in the Back. It should be one of the ones that are pretty close. Maybe this one? No. Huh, I thought I just recently swatched it, but I didn't, obviously. So before the ink went, when did I swatch that? Did I even swatch it? Maybe I have been sent it and haven't swatched it. Oh, here. Yes, this is very similar. I think the Business in the Front and Party in the Back is just a tiny little bit more blue. This is more of a blue-black, and this is more of a, yeah, well, this is also a blue-black, but maybe there is more red in here. So this must be in my Rolodex. I do have quite a few that I haven't categorized yet and written on. So Ackerman, AMLJ. I have actually sorted my inks by brand. And I will see how that goes. Come on. Yeah, I think that if I look at the lighter undertones, where's the, did I already throw this away? Where's the, okay, maybe I can add a little lighter application so you can see the undertones. I think this one is a little bit more red than this one, but they definitely look very similar. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know if you think they're looking similar or not. Now that I look at them on this swatch card, I feel like this is definitely has more red than this one, but it gives me the same vibe. Maybe let's put it this way. It gives me the same vibe. But I think if you, both brands aren't the cheapest, so you wouldn't really save money either way. Like if you need dupes for inks, then you need to go look with Diamine instead of like Kobe or Ackermann. Don't really make a difference in price. Okay, so next one is Sailor Tea Time 2023 Moroccan Mint Tea. And I shook my ink sample right now, and I usually don't do that, and I don't think it's really necessary to do. I just swatched some pigment inks where you could see how the pigment had settled on the bottom of the ink vial. So there it's definitely necessary. And then you could also see how with shimmer inks, of course, then it's better to agitate the vial and bottle before you use them, because then you will have a good shimmer distribution and fill. Unless you don't want that, then you shouldn't agitate your bottle. This looks like poop, baby poop. And I know that it's definitely a light swamp color. I would consider this ink. And I know that my friend Amy is definitely drawn to these colors. These swampy light Sailor. Tea Time. $2023 Moroccan Mint Tea. It feels drier than the other two inks that I used. Okay, I need to re-dip. So let's try and see if we can get this any broader. No. So have you used this ink? Because I mean, it's already 2024. I wonder what ink they come out this year for the Tea Time series. Have you used this successfully in a pen, and what pen did you use it in? I would love to know. I don't know if I really would want to use it. I have to think on this. It's really poopy. It's really poopy. That's all I can say. When I look at these colors together, though, they look really cool. I like this color scheme. Okay, let's continue. I'm waiting for a neighbor who's going to show me how to get our irrigation system to work, or tell me that, yeah, it seems like it's broken. So I feel like I'm nervous. I don't know why. It's fine. Everything's fine. Life is good. So next is something. Robert Oster Clearwater Rain. I feel like they have a lot of water themed inks. And now I wonder if where they are from is close to the water, or if that's just because they like blue. I don't, as well as Ferris Wheel Press inks, I don't gravitate towards Robert Oster inks. Haven't purchased samples in a long time. The only samples that I have received are, you know, samples from friends when they thought, well, maybe she will like this. But I haven't purchased any because previously my experience hasn't been the greatest with their inks. It probably was just me because it doesn't seem like other people had the same problems, but I have either been drawn to their drier inks, because this one is definitely falling off the nib right now. Robert Oster Clearwater Rain. But I've, like, every time I had used an ink from them, or no, that's actually not true. The times that they have stuck in my brain, I had dry ink experiences. And you know me, I'm not one for dry ink experiences. So of course they stuck, or they stick with me. And the ones that are going great, they just, you know, they happen, and then I use another ink and that's it. So, I don't know. It's just sometimes those dry ink experiences that I have, they just leave a bad aftertaste with me. And so I'm not naturally gravitating towards their inks. And I think what also kind of healed, oh my gosh, look at this color scheme. This is so cool. What was I going to say? What healed me a bit from Robert Oster was purchasing the Cozy Comforts that were an endless exclusive because of FOMO. And I shouldn't have done that. I know I waited a while, I did all the things, and then I purchased them, but they weren't available as samples. And now looking back, the colors are nice, and on social media they looked much better, most of them, than they are in person. For me, they were just that tiny bit off that I would have preferred a different hue more. And that was just, you know, lesson learned. And so even though it's not Robert Oster's fault that they weren't the greatest or to my tastes, it left an aftertaste again that I still need to get over. And I still have those bottles, of course. Alpha Tau. I'm just gonna write it like this. It's probably Taurus, but again, I'm not 100% sure. Wow, this color scheme, I'm a accidental perfect color scheme maker. I would love to use those colors together. Probably not going to happen, but could. Colorverse, Alpha Tau, and then alrighty. Ooh, lovely, 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 lovely. So yeah, I just, that was on me, that I just, that was a bad grab. Just not the right hues. And so I've been giving them away. One of them was so full of, what is this color going to be? One of them was so full of, a deep green shimmer. I just couldn't really use it. And then there was such high sheen. That was a disappointment for sure. And so I've been using those ink bottles as an opportunity to give samples to friends. Oh my gosh, look at this. What a fabulous color, and it's going to go so well with those. Ah, so cool. And I think I left off earlier when I said I was purchasing samples because I was looking for the perfect ink bottles for the perfect color in one specific hue. And then I was going to purchase a bottle in that color, so I would have one bottle for every color, basically. I think that was the intention. I don't even remember anymore what the actual intention was. Brothers Karamazov. And then, of course, what then happens is when you have ink bottles, you realize that you don't ever going to be using all of that ink. And so, oh, wow, man, look at this. Of course, the irrigation man came by and showed me how to turn it on and all that. And I'm like, you know, there might be tutorials online. I don't know. I haven't searched. That is usually my husband's job. But he wasn't able to turn it on last year. So this year it's really important that we do that. And so he showed me how. And he was able to figure it out, which is awesome. And now the only thing we need to do is repair all the stuff that is broken. But that's why all of this is dry. And you can see that there's a lot of red sheen on this green ink. Not on regular paper. This is a paper hole reinforcer. So it doesn't sheen on regular paper, but definitely there's some sheen on the green right here. And for sure, look at these dots right here. There's so much sheen here. So, I don't really know where I left off, so I'm just going to swatch the last ink and then call this done. And if there's, if I left a topic unfinished, you will just need to remind me in the comments down below, and I will let you know. Oh, you know what? I remembered that I talked about ink bottles and samples. So then when you have lots of ink bottles, did I say Wearingeul Brothers Karamazov? This one is Grape Ice Pop. Okay, so I don't know. Ferris Wheel Press inks are nice. The bottles look lovely. The packaging, I mean, look at this. This is definitely amazing what it looks like. But, oh wow, this looks wet. Let me swatch it right here first and move this more into the focus. Then you have bottles and then you realize, I'm never ever going to use all of this ink in my life. So then, of course, swapping ink samples is the next best thing, right? So you send ink samples to your friends. And I mean, I don't really have a lot of that sounds weird. I don't have, I was going to say if you have a lot of friends, but if you have a handful of friends and each one of you sends you a sample of all of the new bottles that they purchase, it's going to add up really quickly. And then you end up with having lots and lots of, so you probably won't be able to put you won't even be able to put this in here. Ferris Wheel Press. So now that I look at it, okay, Ferris Wheel Press, this is what I write, Ferris Wheel Press, Grape Ice Pop. This seems to be quite a good flowy ink, wet ink, or yeah, BC, ABC, and then let's do the last things right here. There is quite a bit of ink on the nib, but it doesn't really come off. Ferris Wheel Press, Grape Ice Pop. And then we'll do this. So I'm going to pull out Sailor Shikiori Hara Hara. If it's, no, well, no, totally not. It's more like a matte, like a cross between Yurameku and Hara Hara, I believe. But maybe it is everything that I wanted Yozakura to be. Did I say Yurameku? Yozakura to be and didn't get. I'm very curious to see how... Hara Hara is just such a moody, purpley, green sheening ink. Maybe I will need to get a bottle of this. This is just so beautiful. This is Grape Ice Pop. It's definitely not as moody, not as interesting, but it's a nice color. And I am really drawn to these colors, so I will try it at least once. But I don't necessarily plan. We'll see. If it's great in my pens, I might keep the bottle. If not, I'm just gonna pass it along. As I said before, this is a really stunning color scheme for sure. And I would love to know if you have used any of those, especially the Solferino I'm interested in. How does it clean out of pens? Do you just keep it to, you know, cheaper pens in your collection? Or do you put this in one of your more expensive gold nibbed pens? Not that some of the steel nibbed pens aren't expensive. Oh, I forgot. I usually, and so I'm just going to do that while I'm finishing off this video, I usually fill out one of these. I have a Traveler's Company card ring binder. I'm going to show it to you real quickly. One of those. This is where I keep one of those Tsubame ink collection cards for all of my bottled inks. And I didn't have one for this yet, so that's what I'm going to fill out. Oh, this is a mess. What I usually document on here is I'm filling in one swatch right here. And then I write how many milliliters the bottle has. 38, which is a weird number. Then I write the name. This is Grape Ice Pop by Ferris Wheel Press. And then I write when I got it, which was August, I think it was August 26th. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't need to be a stickler to the date because who cares? And then where I got it from, Kristen. Alrighty, so this goes then into my binder and I can see what ink bottles I have in my stash. I do need to go through and check if every single one is on there, but the idea behind it is that I can easily pick inks from my bottled stash. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time to look at all of these beautiful colors. I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye.